Well, I'm here at Finch Farm, trying to catch a catfish. The wind is cold, it's coming into late spring, and hopefully the camera's going to hold up on me. So I've got my baits out. As you see, the rushes have all been cut back. I'm all set up, got a couple of baits, one over by what was the lilies over there, and one by the edge of the island. And got my bobbins down there, plenty of planes coming over. So if I do hook one, I'll get back to you. I think while the planes are going over and I just got here, I'm just going to have a bit of a cook up. Didn't bring any sandwiches, but I've got something different to cook up. At least I'm out on the water. So, really old gas bottle. I'm trying to use all my old gas bottles up here. I find if you shake them all up before you screw them into the fitting, give them a good shaking, you generally squeeze a little bit more heat out of them. Just hope I've got enough to warm this food up. Dinner today is going to be, wait for this, just don't need a bite at the moment, beans. And with the beans I'm going to be cooking, oh my god, she forgot them, dry bread, there they are, some hot dog segments. I've had a couple of beeps on that right hand rod. Now they've stopped. So every last bean counts. Yeah, there's a bit of gas there, not much. Hopefully enough to cook with. Got some of these frankfurters, like hot dogs. And I find if you just snap them up, you can eat these cold, you can eat them in a salad. I've had them before, but it just makes a change from my usual spaghetti bolognese. Break them all up and cook those at the same time as the beans. I've had to put the brolly up, it's cold air movement. Just try and keep the air off me a little bit because it is a bit nippy and I've only bought the one jacket. Another gentleman fishing over the other side. Did a few beeps as well, but no fish. You might notice I'm using a different chair. It's one the wife got at the charity shop. I use this one when I'm wanting to get under the umbrella more. It's a little bit lower than my old lightweight one. I won't say it's any more comfortable. Actually, look, actually have to put a cushion there. But it has got adjustable legs, and that's good. Seems a bit strange not to be having spag bowl, but there you go. Hopefully there's enough gap. I've got a second one here, and I know there's a little bit left in that, not much if you shake it up. And of course if it's sunny, you put it in the sun and expand, that'll get you a bit more gas out as well. So there we go, it's bubbling away pretty good there. Smelling good, looking good. I wonder if it's going to taste good. Amazed that gas lasted. Got to keep your feet around it, trying to keep warm there. No bites for a moment. So you can see here there's a float tucked into the margins of the rushes. They tell me one of the latest ways to catch these catfish is with a suspended, I can't even speak straight, so excited, a suspended bait. However, this gentleman obviously got carted into the rushes. Another tip that I was given by the bailiff is look for the coot's nest. He said underneath the coot's nest are some holes in the bank, and actually it's not there, I'm just showing that as a coot. So maybe where their nests there are catfish underneath. I know they certainly go around the edges, because I fished another fishery just up the road, and I was told there anywhere there's tree roots and overhangs and lilies you want to fish for. I've got there a strange setup which you'll see, because one of my buzzers is all corroded. It's the first trip of the season, so I use a really large piece of silver paper, unlike my painted washing up bottle top bobbins there, which are a bit heavier. So I just managed to get this rod rigged up so that I can visually watch it. There is no buzzer, but I do, however, have managed to cobble up a different way of having an audible bite indication. As you can see, the reeler's on backwind, and I've balanced a pair of forceps on the top of the spool. Now, we used to do this years ago, 60 years ago, with a penny on the top and an open bail arm and a bobbin below there. Here is a bumblebee. Now, he can't keep going around like that. He'll disappear out of his own whatever. So what I did was net him out, because I figured that's going to be good luck if I can save him. And bumblebees are quite nice creatures until they sting you. Well, the bubbler is going. The aeration, in case people don't know what it is, it sprays the water out and it puts oxygen into the water and helps those fish keep active. So I'm rigged up. Look at that strange setup for my rod butt. Can you see that? I've reversed the handle on my carp sack barrow and glued on some fittings. Reels, I'm normally using £20 black line there, as you can see it. Dead cheap stuff, but you want to be a very, very strong line for catfish. The big rings for the long distance rods I've got, I don't really like. I'm not going to say I like them, I don't. But it does the job. And there's the boss just sitting, waiting, patiently. Well, looks like I finally got one on going. So there's fish just out in the open water. Shit. No, I'm fine, thank you very much. Nice big catfish. Definitely worth sitting there. And a really rocket take that one was. Been a while waiting for this one in the cold weather. Gonna get him back. It's a nice looking fish. Well, I've been using the unhooking mat wrapped around my legs. I've been so cold. The other gentleman on the other side just brought round some bait. He's been using this. He's been using just like rainbow trout and fillets of mackerel there. He said, did I want it? He's just packed up. He actually lost one that looked like a big fish, and it wrapped him around the blower, you know, the aerator over there. So he said, oh, well, I won't be using it because I'm using my secret bait still. Now I had 6 takes on it. One fish though. God, these planes, they drive you mad. It should be banned. I'll let this one go over and then I'll just tell you different hooks I've been trying. I've literally got the last of my salmon, West Coast salmon fishing hooks. It's a nice wide gape one. And we use them with a piece of wool, sort of half hitched on the back of the hook with what's called, it's like gravel bar. How can I describe it? It's called, I don't know how to put this to you. It's called bottom bouncing. It's the truth. It's called bottom bouncing. And what you're doing is you're bumping your lure along the bottom with a round lead ball, bump, 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 in very fast water. This is on the Fraser River in British Columbia for salmon. And we get some big salmon over there doing it. But I bought some hooks over there, really good. I can't remember the name of them, but they got like a red tinge to them. And over there's a lot of barbless hooks used as well. So that's handy, but they're a wide gape, and I like those for catfishing. It's sort of medium strength wire, but listen, we've caught salmon to God knows what, 25, 30 pounds on them, so they work. But I'm going to be using these ones to try these differently. They're these grips ones, which we've got little ridges. They're barbless, and they've got little ridges on the underneath. But they've actually got, if you can see that yourself, called Eagle Wave catfish hooks. 5 in a pack. Size 1, I think they say. They seem quite big to me. They seem quite big. I mean, look, you go to big catfish places, £100 plus, £1 plus, you're going to use bigger hooks, I appreciate that. But general run-of-the-mill UK catfishing is a smaller size fish. So once I'm using now, and I've sort of gone across to, and I'm going to have to go across because I've run out of my British Columbian salmon hooks. Size 4, they're called curved shank. Can't really put them in. I don't know if you can see that there. I've got no idea why they're curved shank. Don't ask me, I'm not a carp fisherman, I just catch carp. I'm not some carp buff that knows what they're for. But it's curved shank. But I like them because they're quite wide gape. They are, to me, I've used these quite a while now. Is that a bite? They're going to be looking like this now. Quite a wide gape hook, quite strong as well. And I've caught on the other sizes, but you know, maybe if I was using great big chunks of meat or and much bigger fish, I think I'd probably go for those catfish hooks. I'm going to be trying these anyway. I'm going to get them fixed on there almost every trip now, because there's only one way of testing them, and that's keep using. I tell you what, to be honest, that size there, it seems big. It's good for a really big piece of luncheon meat for barbel up on the Y or the 7. And the guy came just round just now talking, and it turns out he said, he popped his head around the umbrella and nearly gave me a heart attack. Don't do that. If you meet me again, don't just pop your head around and go, "Whoa, Graham, do you know me?" And I said, "No." About 12 years ago, I suppose now, on the River Kennet, I had a barbel, I had a nightmare fight. I think it was over on the Kennet, and it just got dark, the light had just gone. Who knows what time of year, it was probably September, barbel time. And I got this, the biggest barbel I'd ever had out this stretch. We got a film up on it. I do not speak with forked tongue, the film is up there. And there's one guy left fishing just up by the weir. So I ran up with the fish in the net quick, and I think he actually weighed it for me, and if I recall it was £12.13. Anyway, by the by, this guy is obviously a barbel enthusiast, and he's telling me he had a, wait for this, it's huge. I think it was a £16.4 barbel from the River Severn last year. I think it was last year. What a fish that is. Now I know you go up on the Trent, all these big fish places, and you know, they're probably 10 a penny up there. I don't go big fish fishing, so you know, it's not for me. I just go fishing. I'm grateful for anything, even that last catfish. Very grateful. Anyway, what he was saying is there are some stretches of the River Severn which I never knew had big fish like that. So it just goes to show you, it's not all about, say, the River Trent or the River Thames, where people get these big barbel, and it's equating really to the catfishing. It's not all about catching a £150 catfish on a big hook. You can have balanced tackle carp here I'm using, and still catch decent double figure £20, £30 catfish. Anyway, it looks like this. I've got the skunk out of the boat, thank goodness for that. I'm still not sure what those other takes are, to be honest. Fingers crossed I'll get another one. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Well, I can't keep you posted because I never did get another fish. But on a trip I did get a fish, and it was a real Uno Lumpo, big one. It was last year, my last catfish trip of the season, trying my experimental bait that I'd had so much success on, and still am, luckily, at the moment. It was a biggie. However, I have to apologise in advance because the camera, I've been sea fishing with it, it's got sort of fritzed and fried with salt water going down it. It's flickery and flashy. It's just dodgy footage. A little bit of camera that a guy helped me out as well with on a phone. So, you know, it's not great, but it's big fish. Well, I'm here on a last minute hunch. Probably my last catfish trip of the season. As you can see, I'm geared up, I'm at Finch Farm, and I've got my secret bait out there, which is such a secret the fish haven't even taken it yet. They've done a good job cutting down all the rushes here, I have to say, because it's coming into winter. Haven't seen anything move, just the odd little fish moving around. Whole lake to myself, nobody else is there. Now, because this camera's about to go on the blink, it's been dabbling with water. I don't even know if it's working, to be honest. I think it is working. Load of rain last night. Here's a story. Absolutely big storm of rain last night. It's going to get very, very cold tonight. So we all know, or should know, the catfish are going to go into hibernation pretty well. And it's going to be tough to catch them. You know it's cold. It's got this. It's beautiful in the sunshine at the moment because the wind's coming from the north. It's off my back. I figured this is my last chance of a catfish. In fact, there might be no chance of a catfish, and other catfish anglers aren't here, which does tell me something. However, I don't feel the water could have dropped that much in temperature just from one night. Anyhow, it's very, very pleasant. This camera is pretty well shot, so I'm just getting what I can at the moment. Got my mat over there, net. It could well be a blank. I've got a really, really good catfish bait on there at the moment, but it won't be doing me any good if the catfish are going into hibernation, will it? So we just give it a go, and if I do get anything, I'll probably have to record it on my phone, which won't be great quality. For some reason, this thing's eating batteries as I put them in, so there's something that's shorting out in there, I don't know. And I did see a hint of corrosion. The last trip I had last week was sea fishing in Ireland, and it got wet. So we'll see how far we go with it. Okay guys, I'm going to switch off now in case I do get a little bit of battery, and I'll let you know when I get a take. I can't even get it up, yeah. The camera will have to come to me. And that is a big one. Oh, I'd say that's nearly 50 pounds. That is an absolute sulky.
That is a stormer.
I think it is close to about 50, that one. We've had them to 180, so I would say that's very, very close to 50, unless anybody out there recognise it. And his name's Susan or something. It weighs 46 and a half, I'll settle for it, but I'm calling that somewhere between 40 and 50 pounds.
Brilliant.
I need a shower after this. Wife won't like the clothes after this. More tired meal here. I appreciate that. Thank you. I did need help in the end. What an epic battle that was. I'm absolutely covered in slime all up my trousers. But I mean an immense fish. Turns out my biggest this year in the UK. That's my biggest. We're talking 45s, maybe 50. Got a big belly on it. So some of you guys out there, if this camera's working again now, I must have fought it for 15 minutes before I even tried to get the head cam on. And then this one went to the wall. The gentleman filmed the last of it in a phone, on my phone, so we haven't got great pictures, but we got what we got. At least you guys know I caught. So what I've done is I've let the batteries cool down in this GoPro, taken them out, and I've left the back off the camera to hold it at the heat, but it won't last long. What I was going to say quickly, if this is working, is they say when it gets cold like this, that the hibernation period comes in on the cats, and they go around the edges and dig out holes under the bank and stuff like that, underneath tree overhangs, and just bury themselves, you know, for the winter. So I was thinking, you know, why am I casting in the open water when the cold weather's coming? Should I in fact be casting, you know, like around the sides, underneath the lilies almost, you know, and around the margins? I don't know. So is there any catfish expert out there? Mind you, I just call that catfish in the open water. But you know what I mean? It's always interesting to talk about, you know, different theories you've got, and especially catfish. I can't read them at all, I just go fishing for them. But the bait I'm using, whoo, mama, it's been pretty good recently. The sun is blazing down, but it is probably going to be very, very cold tonight. The temperature will drop, and they're going to get lockjaw. Well, you can see by the hat and attire, the jacket is on, the hat is on. It's getting really cold now. And if I pan around like this, you'll see beautiful sunset going down there, but it's going to get cold, and they're probably shut down and get lockjaw now. So immensely pleased to get that fish. And as you can see, I haven't got much longer for the sun. They shut and lock up here at just before 6 or about 6 o'clock. So I'll give it a go. Maybe next spring, that'll be me done now. Probably put the catfish rods away. I doubt I'll be doing any more overnighters carping. It's coming into the time where I go beach fishing now, and a bit of boat fishing wouldn't go amiss. But what a result. I'm telling you guys, that fish was 45 of everybody's money, and probably very close to 50. If you're watching a totally awesome fishing show, hit that subscribe button. TA Fishing, TA Outdoors. We'll see you in the next programme. But don't switch off, because there could be something else coming along. But not a catfish. Now wait for this. This year, someone actually did out of that pool have a 50-pound catfish. Could that be the catfish I caught just a few months earlier before the winter came in? Somebody out there might know. They say that's Arthur, Susan, Bill. You know what they're like, they all have names, don't they? I don't know if they have catfish names. Carp do, people give names to carp. Does anybody out there, do we name catfish? I don't know. Anyway, lots of storm damages last winter, loads of work to do. Here's a bit of work out to do with the old saw. Man, we seem to be losing a lot of trees in the UK. Why is it? Drought? Stress of the trees? You know, with all the dry weather? I don't know. Somebody tell us. Well, it might look pretty, guys. It's frozen snow now. Crunchy as you could want. Absolutely fantastic lighting. I've no idea what this small camera's going to look like. Beautiful lighting there though. And we watched last night in the, against the white of the snow, some muntjac deer that were coming right along the corner here, and we think maybe if you look from these trees up here, that just kept a little bit of frost off the line here. So I figure maybe they were feeding down there. They were right round here, right around the edge. A muntjac, for those people who don't know, a short, dumpy looking deer, look like a bit like a dog really, and they've got like little tusks and stuff with them. But I've got not tusks, but a task, because there is a mega branch come down off one of my major willows on the property. It's a big one. You might be able to see a massive split in it up there from the weight of the snow. The snow's gone now because it's melted, you know, so it's come off the trees, but that was packed with snow, and it split this huge puppy here, which has gone right over the fence there, all the way. That's going to be reciprocal saw, run the cable out, and I feel I might even throw in a new blade. And the good thing about a tree like this is it gets me some future 2-year-old, not the greatest burning wood willow, but for my log burner, and also I can light a bonfire. Who doesn't like an excuse for a bonfire, guys? Anybody with a childish mind like mine? Yes! Let's get a hold of those matches. Matches are before lighters for those of you who are young. Great fun to play with. And don't do what we used to do as kids. You'd have a box of matches, you'd light one, you'd try and drop the match into the box and shut that before it went whoosh. Don't do that, will you, kids? No. We used to do it all the time. Many a burnt finger in our class. Well, I've got all the big logs cut up there, but what's interesting is the last piece where it's split away. Some tree experts out there, and there's always one, will probably tell us what it is. So, put it up there. Here you can see where I've been sawing these down. There's a black line around there, and then a different colour on the centre. Look, every log I've cut, there's like a black line. Is that a sign of weakness? I mean, it's hard, I've just been sawing it. But here, look, where it's actually split open, it's very, very dry on the inside, but there's like these patches, they look like sort of glue. Maybe it's some form of resin, or is it some form of disease? Does anybody know what that means there? It's all going on my log burner, but it'd be interesting to find out why, with all that weight of snow up there, what made this split like that. Anyway, I've got myself a fair old heap. The next job is to get an axe to it, clear away the fence line there. What an absolutely stunning view today. Absolutely superb. Beautiful blue sky all the way around. And of course I've got to get a little bonfire going as well, so it could be a good day. Lunch first, but let's get this knocked off. I'm going to saw that up as well, and then get the log splitter for those. So I'm ready to split some of these logs up now, and I just want to show you, I always put one big one down here to take the shock. What's best is to put, say, a breeze block or a piece of concrete underneath that, then this, and then the piece you want to split there. I'm just going to try and split these up, and I'll show you those two axes there. Okay, so, show you the difference between these two axes. This one is a regular chopping axe, which has a very wide blade, nice curve on it. You can sharpen that for chopping trees down, okay? But you would be hard pushed to split logs with that. You could do, but you're better off really to get yourself what's called a log splitter, or a splitting maul, or whatever it's called in other countries, I don't know. Much shorter dumpier, okay, carrying a heck of a lot of weight at the back. You can use that as a sort of sledgehammer. Let me show you the two together. There you go, you can see the difference, like that, hopefully. There guys, see that difference between the two blades. But possibly, even though this is bigger, this one's probably heavier and concentrates the power. Now I've got gloves on because it's below freezing. I don't ever, if I can help it, chop with gloves on. Leather ones maybe, rubber is too cold. You're better off splitting your hands, even if it's a bit cold. You know, I really don't like gloves like this, with wool especially, it slips. The modern shafts now do have the grips on them. You see the ridges there, and there's ridges here. That's to grip. I'm left-handed, and if you want to spring it over like this, you've got grips there, let it slide through. We'll see if we can pop a couple of these in half, and then I want to get that bonfire going over. That's what I really want to get going. I want to see some orange flames. Well, the reason we split all these up into what are almost like quadrants, you can see hopefully split it as a circle, so you're going to try and split it into 4. They'll dry out better. Now I'm going to keep these probably 18 months at least for my log burner. Not worried about all this moss that just to die off in the shed, in the woodshed. So got a good stock of timber there. Cost me nothing except labour and a bit of electricity with a saw. For those of you who think, you know, it's a lot of effort for wood, well, hang on, the tree came down anyway in that snowstorm with the weight of the snow. I'm not going to waste it. I've got to clear it and saw it up to get it off the property, otherwise I can't mow the lawn, can I? But I'm not wasting it. It goes in the log store. And for those of you who say, why don't you go and get yourself a chainsaw? I don't need a chainsaw. We've got a nice lot of trees here. I don't want to cut them down. All I'm doing is whizzing up with my reciprocal saw enough wood, which goes to about 4 or 5 inches, 6 inches, a foot sometimes if I go round in circles. I have cut some big ones down on this property before, dead ones that we'll be clearing. Just starting to thaw a little bit. And do you know what, people? I won't be disappointed. I don't really like the cold. That's probably why I want to light that bonfire so badly. Well, boys, finally, I've got a lot of heat thrown in there because willow obviously is a sort of wet wood. Going to be a bit of a pain to burn, but as you can see, I've got it going well. I cleared out a recycling bin of cardboard, paper, some kindling wood. It still wouldn't go. So obviously, being practical, it's not petrol, it just says petrol. Never ever ever use petrol. I just used a bit of kerosene and the bellows. These are the best things. So while that didn't work, I got a tiny little fire going and I got these bellows. Just went down like this. And as you can see there, it sends it crackers with forcing oxygen in there. And now I've got enough heat there to hopefully to burn all the rubbish I've cut down there. So let's keep it going. You need to keep that heat going, and you need it to burn through the centre like this vortex, and every now and then I just push it down. It's just the way I do it, Don't know if there's any bonfire specialist clipboard inspectors, but that's the way I do it. And you can gradually fold it all in there. What I also do is this. I've got a pair of bolt cutters. Well, they're not bolt cutters, they're tree croppers. You don't just want to throw them all over, you want to concentrate that wood by snipping about 15 inches like this. Hopefully you people can see this. That way, when I put these all on, they go right over what I call that sort of vortex bit there that gets very, very hot. Once you get heat with a bonfire, you should be away. But I mean, bearing in mind, we've had this huge dumping of snow, so a lot of the stuff, when it does actually sort of thaw out, if you like, gonna have moisture in it. So I do that, and then when I put this on, I get it right over the centre there. That's where it's hottest, and hopefully I can keep that heat up and that help dry it out, evaporate. So it smells like a barbecue. Maybe I'll caught my feet alight. Eventually I'll crop back and get rid of the lot. Wish I had something to cook on there. That's going to be red hot. This will go all night through to the morning now. It'll burn down to coals and it'll burn right through. So I lean over any farther with the camera, it will dispatch the moustache and eyebrows. Well, we seem to be losing a lot of trees, don't we? I find that, especially the oak trees, they seem very dry and they split with the branches, monster branches just breaking. When I look, it seems like, are they not sucking up enough water? Is it stress? Why are we losing so many trees? Anyway, thanks for watching that one. Hopefully you guys won't be too mad that it wasn't a fishing one. I don't want you barking mad, and I don't want you to twig that not everyone I do is a fishing film. I mean, I have to, I branch out, don't I? I have to branch out, and I'm always rooting around in my files trying to find you guys some films. We'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. TA Fishing, TA Outdoors. Go and check my channel out. Always something interesting on there. And we'll see you in the next episode.